Hey guys, it's been a long time since I did a Get Ready With Me video. A client of mine that I super love is like, oh my goodness, I used to love your Get Ready With Me videos. So why are you not doing those? And I was like, I haven't really thought of it. But I did want to do a video, and I'm going out tonight dancing, as you know. And I thought I would just talk to you while I'm getting ready. And talk to you about a video that I saw that is a pretty good representation of what happens in the quantum field when you are thinking of things and you're manifesting things. And also there's sort of like, in many cases, there's unconscious manifestations that are taking place because of your behavior. And if you don't know how to behave, then and you don't know how to like think in a way that's generative, and to attract those things that you want to attract yourself in a way that's generative, then okay, you just don't know how to do that. And it's like riding a horse. Sorry, I keep popping off the camera. I've got my my beauty trunk is right here. I should show you the things that I freaking love if you're interested. So this is Stila. It came back. The Stale Day 10 and 1 came back. I don't have any links for these. You can probably find them on Amazon. But anyways, this guy, and I'm going to link the video because I think the description is really freaking good. And I think you need to have this information. But I want to talk to you today about manifestation. And I want to talk to you about, like, everybody's like, oh, I want to be magic. I want to be a sorceress. I want to be like you, Jennifer. I want to do channeling and I want to do all the magic things. But you have to be really, really careful about what language that you're using when you're doing your manifesting. And, you know, sort of like what language are you using in your day-to-day life? You know, one of the things that I notice is that people pay a lot of attention to the stuff that's not working for them. And like, not like you should avoid the things that aren't working for you, you know, and just like pretend that they don't exist. It's more like, one, you need to set up a solid base for yourself where the things that are working for you are working for you correctly. Do you know what I mean? So if it's like, most people are complaining about their relationships, they're complaining about money, and they're complaining about their body or their health. And so how the quantum field works is it's just data. It's just data, you guys. So the quantum is like, oh, what's Jennifer paying attention to? What are you paying attention to? And so when I'm paying attention to those things, I love this palette. This is Marcel, and I use this one for my eyebrows because I have like non-existent eyebrows. So what are you paying attention to? What's the most important thing? And are you talking about lack, like, ooh, I don't have what I want? Or are you actually asking the quantum field to bring you more of what you love? And I would say for my clients, when I'm working with clients, when I talk to them about what they love and adding more about what they love into their life, they're like, well, what do you mean, Jennifer? Aren't we here to fix problems? Well, maybe, but if we pay attention to problems and we call them problems and we talk about fixing them, then what? Right? It's like, oh, this element of fixing starts to come in, and the quantum field's like, oh, fixing. These people want to do more fixing of their life. And so if you listen to my show, if you listen to my broadcasts, you know that what I want to talk about is how easy it can be to manifest, and also the quantum field and how it's a data system. And so, like I said, I'm going to post this video below so you can see what this guy talks about. But I'm going to do it in sort of just really easy to follow information. But I'm going to tell a story. So if you... am I going to tell a story? I might tell a story. So what I notice happening is if you're paying attention to the stuff that's not working in your life and you're like, oh my God, I don't have this thing that I want, I don't have it, then what can happen is you get more of what you don't want. So just for example, a lot of the people that come to me are like, money's not working for me. It's not working for me. And then it turns out that it's actually, they're not paying attention to their body. They're not paying attention to their relationships. And so the thing that would bring them money is to have more fun with their body and more fun with their relationships. And because the quantum field is a data field, they're talking to themselves and they're telling themselves, oh, this palette, hi. I like this one. It's inexpensive. It's got great colors in it. They're telling themselves, I don't have money. I don't have money. I don't have money. I don't have money. And, cancel that, universe. I'm good. And I'll have more money. Thank you. But because they're talking to themselves and their internal dialogue is about lack, then what happens is they just get more lack, which super freaking sucks. I don't want that for you. I don't want you to have more lack. I want you to have everything that you would like to have and everything that's pleasurable for you. And so one of the things that I do recommend is that people start to do more of what's pleasurable for them. And so for me, if you listen to my show, if you pay attention to what I do, I freaking love dancing. I love going out dancing. My body loves dancing. I get a huge transformation from dancing. And so one of the top dances that I've been developing is the tango. And so when I was in a relationship before, I wanted to do tango. I love tango, especially Argentine tango. And my partner at the time was like, I'm not freaking doing it. And so that's data, guys. That's data. So you love something and your partner, your lover, your significant other, the person that's supposed to be there for you, supposed to like add to your life, is like, I'm not doing this thing that you love. And now I'm not saying that we like beat our partners up and we like make them do the thing, but also if you knew that your lover loved something, wouldn't you want to give that to them? Like, I really feel like that's sort of one of the things that I have noticed is that the people who are around me, if they know that I love something, do they want to have that with me? Do they want to have that with me? And so ask yourself that, because if you're like focused on money, for example, and your partner has a different like point of view about money, and like maybe they like spend a lot of money and you're like, I can't handle it. Or maybe they're just so contracted about how money's supposed to come in. They're like, oh, the only way for money to come in is this, 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 and this. And it's so interesting. Like for me, when I get contracted about money, and then I think, oh, okay, because it always happens. People get contracted about money. That's normal. Especially if they're ready to make a quantum leap, they'll get contracted about money. And that's freaking normal. It's just so normal. And what was I going to say about that? I was going to say whenever I get contracted about money and I think, oh, I'm going to go get, get a haircut and get a good job, I always end up getting more clients. Like the universe is like, girl, pardon me while I do my zombie eyelids. This is called tight lining, and it makes your eyelashes look thicker. Yeah, so clients always come in when I think about getting a haircut and getting a good job. So I see my friend is watching, and I know for sure she's not ready to get a haircut and get a good job. She's got so many freaking skills. She doesn't need to do that. That's just not in her MO to do that. What else do I want to say? So data, quantum particulates, and how it works. And so what if there's no point of view even about how much money that you could make? You know, like I really think that the amount of wealth that you have is in direct correlation to how much you take care of yourself as a physical being. You know, I see so many people that are completely burnt out. And then when I say to them, like, look, you need to rest. You need to take care of yourself. You need to pay attention to how your body assimilates nutrients. So freaking important. And they're like, well, you know, I need to make money. I'm like, you don't need to make money at the detriment of your health. You just never, ever need to make money at the detriment of your health. Like, don't fucking do that. And they're like, but. I'm like, oh my God, this isn't like the 80s or the 90s when we used to like drink Monster energy drinks and work 14-hour days for people who didn't even know what our name is. I can remember when I was in real estate, I had a friend of mine in the office, and she used to like come into my office a couple times a week, and she would be like bawling her eyes out. And I'm like, dude, you don't need to die for people who don't know who you are. And they can fucking care less about you. Super, super important. Like, the people that love you want you to take really good care of yourself. And it could be that the person that you're in a relationship with could care less whether or not you take care of yourself. They just actually want you to take care of them. So pay attention to that. What else do I want to talk about? So again, I'm just talking about the quantum field and how it's just a data system. It's just a data system. And so when you start to pay attention to the fact that it's a data system, then you have to start asking yourself, like, what data am I putting into the system? So is it that, you know, this is me pretending to be you, but I'll ask you, like, what data are you putting into the system? Is the data, that you lack the things that you say that you want? And like maybe that it's impossible for you to get the things that you say that you want. And, you know, so this foundational learning about like language and also, you know, manifesting in the quantum field, you know, is something that you need to start to master. And it's not difficult. It's not difficult, but it requires mirroring. It requires that you have somebody, you know, ask you questions and pay attention to, you know, what it is that you are manifesting and actually care. And I think I did a giant part of a show one time where I was talking about it's actually easier to manifest when somebody cares more about what you're manifesting than you do. And so, you know, the quantum field is data driven. And if there's 2 or more people that want this thing for you, then your likelihood of getting it is like, it's not just 200% more, it's like 2,000% more for you to have the thing that you say that you want. And yeah, so anyways, I'm going to post this video below about the quantum field and what this man was talking about. But I really wanted to talk to you about your language. I want to talk to you about what you say that you want. And if you're not getting it, is it that you're focused on the lack? You know, and maybe it might be just like, sort of almost like standard business practices, which, you know, like for years and years and years, that was my life. So, you know, I'm not just coming in all airy-fairy and saying, oh, well, you know, this is what you need to do to be able to have a life that works or have a business that works and be successful. I do have big business experience. When I like fell apart, the average property manager has like maybe 8 buildings and I had 23. So, you know, that was a little nuts, guys. It was just a little nuts. And so back to focusing on what it is that you want. Yes. But also, what if you divide your day up, How many hours are you spending moving forward in your life? So that's one question for you. How many hours are you spending sort of cleaning up your energetic mess? And I see a lot of people in the self-development space. They're like, oh, I have to do inner child work, and oh, I have to do, this kind of work to make sure that I don't move forward in my life carrying this baggage from my childhood or whatever. And I'm like, yes, absolutely, highly recommend that you clean up your baggage from your childhood. Recommend it. But like, what is it? Like, how many hours a week are you spending moving forward in your life? And is it based on solid energetic principles? Is it based on solid, good financial principles? Are you taking excellent care of your body? Are you getting the relationship skills that you need in order to be able to have that? Because most of us were raised in sort of shit show households, whether we realize it or not. Your parents arguing in the kitchen after dinner, like, oh, we're not arguing in front of the kids, but this energetic disagreement is like poisoning the house. Okay, yeah, you might not be arguing in front of the kids, but the kids are perfectly well knowing that, the house is filled with mommy and daddy discord, and your kids are very sensitive and they know about that kind of stuff. So yes, and then what are you doing moving forward to take care of all of that stuff so that your skills are based on solid energetic principles? You know how to manifest. When you're in sort of a lack bubble, that the thing that you need to do to get out of the lack bubble is to do things that are fully pleasurable for you. And so for me, it's dance. I love dance, love it. Am I expecting to go to the Dance Olympics? No. Do I have any expectations of myself with regards to dance? No, I really don't. And, but do I love it? Am I improving? All of that, for sure. Absolutely, I am. And so when you start to focus on pleasure, then what happens is the quantum field, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, the God force energy, is like, wow, this person knows what they want. This person has a really great idea of what feels good for them. And so the data starts to show up. So the data is, just for example, me, Jennifer loves dancing. Jennifer loves how dancing makes her feel. Jennifer loves the community of dancing. She doesn't take herself too seriously, which I absolutely do not take myself too seriously. And so it's like more pleasure, more fun, more good times for Jennifer, because I have a practice of taking care of myself energetically that has nothing to do with making money. Am I expecting people to pay me to be a professional dancer? Fuck no, I'm not interested. I get paid way more than a normal dancer would anyways, like exponentially more. And then when I find myself contracting about things, if I find myself contracting about money, if I find myself contracting about relationships, what I do is I move back into what makes me happy. I move back into taking really great care of myself physically, drinking more water, all of those things. But the pleasure aspect of things programs the quantum way more than anything else. Like, you can do affirmations until the cows come home. You can, do all of the standard manifestation processes. But one, if you don't have a solid base of what your standard manifestation processes look like, oops, red flag. If you don't have someone mirroring back to you the, sort of any sort of complain language, any sort of lack language, red flag, you cannot manifest in a vacuum. It takes two people or more to get you where you need to go. And so whoever those people are, great. If you have, friends, if you have family that you trust, that you can share these things with them and you feel like they really help you manifest, and you have the data that shows you that they help you manifest, then freaking great. Just go for it. Use those people. But one of the things that I notice is that people aren't entirely honest with themselves about their their relationship with their family. And then your family is also family, I mean soul family and physical family. Your family's invested in this version of you that, stay still, they know. So if you are planning on changing this, who you are, which hopefully, we are in an evolution process most of the time. And yeah, so you're changing, and it could be that these people have difficulty with your change. And so like the data is going out there like, ooh, I want to change, but I don't really want to change. And I don't have the foundation principles to help me change. So what I would say is it's a lot like dance. If you don't know how to do a dance, then the best way to learn how to do a dance, you could go on YouTube, you could try in your living room, or you could go get professional instruction from somebody who knows how to do it and also knows how to do it with all sorts of energy types. So that's something that I wanted to talk to you about today too. So I've been a little bit rambly. I've got my face on, but one of my clients was like, why are you not doing these get ready with me videos? I love your get ready with me videos. So I am going to post that quantum video about the scientist who was talking about how the quantum field works. And, if any of this has struck a chord with you, I would love to have a conversation with you. I am trained in numerous modalities, like dozens and dozens and dozens, because I love transformation. I love the transformation space, and I've been in the transformation space since I was like 16 years old. And so that's just a few, a few years ago. And I would love to have a conversation with you. So send me a DM if any of this has struck a chord, if you're ready to move ahead, but you're not 100% sure whether or not you're moving ahead based on solid energetic principles, that you're building a foundation that's based on you having a life that's full of pleasure, full of fun, and also full of profit. And that's one of the things that I also see in the transformation space, is that some of the people who are doing coaching and training are like, oh, it's okay, you can pay me on donation, or just any of these sort of weird slidey energetic principles. I don't like it. I come from big business. I want you to make great money. I want you to have an energetic and financial overflow in your life, because if people like you have an energetic and financial overflow, it just goes great for the rest of the world. There's something called the girl effect. And I would say the girl effect with women who are in the healing space is going to be something fantastic once these healers quit taking donations for their work. I hate that. Makes me crazy. Anyways, so I've got my face on, and I got a message from my friend asking if I'm coming dancing tonight, and I absolutely am. I've got my face on. So any questions that you guys have, please put them in the comments. Or if you want to say, yeah, I agree with you, or no, Jennifer, you're full of it. You go ahead. That's my favorite thing, to get into a discussion. So super love you guys. And maybe we'll do a get ready with me again soon. Take care. Bye guys.